Alright, so now that we have our 3 images ready, we can now start creating containers out of them. We're gonna start with the database. So let's run docker container run --rm so that when the container is stopped, it is going to be automatically removed from the system. --name, let's call it db01. -d to be running in the background. -p 27017, this is the default port for MongoDB, so we are going to expose this port as it is. Not gonna make any changes to it, and this is gonna be based on our DB image, just like this. Okay, so now we have a container running, docker container ls. Okay, we have a DB, and it is running. Second, we need to run our application container, so docker container run --rm --name app01 -d to run in the background or in a detached mode. -p, it runs on 3000 by default. So let's also expose the port 3000 to our host, and it's gonna be based on the app image. Okay, so now we have 2 containers running. Okay, now let's create the final container, which is the web server. So docker container run, again, --rm --name web01 -d -p. This time I'm going to give it port 8080 because we are running this on our using our non-privileged users, so we cannot start a web server on port 80. It's better to have a port that is above 1024, as we mentioned before, so we're gonna use port 8080 for that, and it's gonna be based on the web image. Okay, so now we have our 3 containers up and running. Let's open our browser and start testing our application. So if you type localhost 8080, okay, this is the blog that we have created. Of course, this is not the best blog you can find. You are free, of course, to do whatever modifications you want to this project and create further improvements. If we go here to create, and because we are instructing NGINX to use the authentication, we are going to be presented with this user and password prompt. Let's use the user Bob that we have hard-coded when we created the image. The password, if you remember, is pass123. Okay, now we are inside. We can create a blog post. Let's say, for example, hello Docker, subtitle, simple Docker post. Can add any content here. This is some content. Okay, and we press save. Post created successfully. If we go to home, you're gonna see that we have hello Docker, simple Docker post. If we click on it, you're going to see the title, the subtitle, the date, and this is some content about Docker. So this web server is talking to node.js in the background. So if we open another tab and type localhost and we specify the port 3000 /API/posts, we're gonna see that we have here a JSON output. This is title, hello Docker, simple Docker post, created date, subtitle, and content. This output is brought to you from node.js. Okay, it is connecting to MongoDB. Node.js is connecting to MongoDB behind the scenes, grabbing this content, and angular.js here is getting this content from node.js. So if you want further proof, you can open the network tab of Firefox here, and let's refresh this page and notice this request here. Get posts, have a look here. It's getting it from localhost 8080 /API/posts, and because this request has the API posts, if you remember from a previous lecture when we instructed NGINX to forward any request that has /API in it to the backend application server, so it connected to node.js and grabbed this JSON output, as you can see. Of course, the IP address of node.js is not going to be shown here because this all has been handled by NGINX. So that is the beauty of microservices architecture. NGINX is very fast and very efficient in serving static content. So content like this image, like the Bootstrap CSS framework that is used to create this look of the website, any JavaScript files that will help us create those effects, anything static is going to be served by NGINX, and it is very, very fast in this. It can be also used to cache content that is requested so that it is served faster. So let's have a look at this page, for example, about. Let's close this. Okay, about me. This is a static page. This does not have to connect to the backend application server. This is just HTML, some text, and some image. It does not need to go and make an expensive call to node.js. But if you go here and if we want to have a look at this post, this has to go to the backend server. This has to fetch something from node.js. And node.js is going to take this ID, the post ID, go to MongoDB, and it's going to retrieve a post of that title from there. Let's have a look again at the API here. It's going to get this ID. It's going to ask for this ID at MongoDB, and the database is going to respond with this data, the content, subtitle, and the title. Okay, so let's have a look at NGINX, and let's see what exactly happened when we created the .htpasswd file. So I can run docker container exec-it. The running container is web01, and let's execute /bin/bash against that container to have a shell inside it. So now we are inside. Let's go to /usr/share/www/html. Inside it we have, okay, of course, everything that we have copied from our local Docker host. But let's have a look at this .htpasswd file. .htpasswd file. It contains Bob as a user, and this is the encrypted password that I have instructed the image to create using the OpenSSL command. Let's have a look at our configuration file again, our Docker file for the web server. We look here. This is the output of OpenSSL passwd-1 and the password. It's this string, and this is how NGINX is giving you the prompt to enter your user and password in here. Now, if I try to download this file, like for example, I was interested in getting /htpasswd, it's gonna give me forbidden. You are not allowed to download this file. That is because we have instructed NGINX to deny access to anything that starts with a dot. Now, one final thing before we leave this is I want to show you how and why we use microservices architecture. Now, if I stopped the app, for example, okay, let's use the full command docker container stop app 01. Now I stop this container, but the website is still working. Of course, it does not have any posts here. And if you go to create, you're not going to be able to create anything. If you just type here anything and press saved, nothing is going to be saved. But the website is partially working. It does not display, the page cannot be displayed or cannot connect to server or any of those nasty error messages that are going to drive your visitors away. Of course, we can develop this further and make angular.js display a message here that the application server is under maintenance or we're going to be back soon or any other friendly message that is going to give a better user experience for your users. So that is the beauty of microservices. Every component is autonomous, it's atomic, it's isolated, it's working on its own. So even if I stopped the application server, the website is still running, although with partial functionality, but it is still running. Let's start that again. Docker container start app01. Okay, we have given the --rm, so you'll have to create that container again. Okay, now if we refresh this page, we're gonna have our posts again, and we can create whatever posts we want. That brings us to the end of this lecture. In the coming lecture, we are going to see some of the drawbacks of the architecture design that we have used, and we are going to address some of those drawbacks in this section. Other drawbacks are going to be addressed in later sections of this class. So until next lecture, take care.